Welcome to the fourth episode of Calibration. I'm Anthony Pete.
I'm Kalina Kilborn.
I'm Alpha Clemens.
I'm Lenora Highgate.
I'm Serena B.
And I'm Desiree Layla.
But be that as it may, I have 5 of my beautiful cousins who put me up to saying that here to talk about their beauty lines. Would you like to tell us about yours?
I'm a wife, a mother. I'm the owner of Tourmaline Beauty. My line is with body butter. And I'm me.
I'm Alpha Clemens. I grew up doing hair. Also, I'm a former hairstylist. I am the owner and I am the formulator of ANO Naturals, Alpha and Omega Naturals Hair and Skincare Company.
And I am Lenora Highgate. I am the owner of Wink by Pink. I do more of a service for lash extensions, but I also do have a shampoo line as well.
My name is Serena B, and I am a mother also. I have 2 kids. I'm a licensed nail tech. I've been licensed for quite a while, but during the pandemic, it forced me to start my own brand of professional nail products. So Damani is born from the pandemic.
I just noticed over here we got the R&B section with Ashanti and Marsha Broches over here. Yeah, I can see that. Ashanti, that's your new name for the rest of the show. How did you get into this?
How did I get into nails?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I've always been a girly girl, but I actually went to boarding school in Mississippi. I went to Piney Woods. And I had gotten a little bit of trouble where I had to kind of pay something off. It was nothing major. But I was already doing nails, and yeah. So I actually had to pay it off. And during that time, I didn't know what I was going to do. And I was already playing with nails. So I sat in the dorm full day Saturday and did nails for like $10 for full sets. Long story short, I ended up getting licensed my freshman year at Jackson State, that summer break.
HBCU?
Yes, definitely. But I have been licensed since '99. I'm licensed in Mississippi, Michigan, and California now.
Okay.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Miss Highgate, how did you get into that?
Well, all the women in my family, are really creative. They do hair, they do something nails. I've always kind of been looking for my thing, and I could never really figure out what it was. But I always used to just sit on the counter in my bathroom and do those individual lashes myself. And I used to just be like, I can do this. It's easy. But it wasn't until the pandemic where I was just like, okay, I'm going to supplement. And I'm like, I can do this. So I just got up one day and was like, I'm going to take a class, and I got certified.
And I was happy to see that too. I was happy to see that. Alphas.
Okay, so how I got into this was, well, first of all, I, again, did hair my whole life. I still do hair a little bit here and there and again. I'm getting ready to start back doing hair, but I ended up needing a solution to my daughter's hair because it was not cooperative, whereas I did hair, so everybody else's hair kind of just did what I needed to do. When I got to her, we had issues. Her hair was like, no, girl, that what you do for them don't work for me. So then I had to kind of figure out a solution for her. So during that time, I was like, okay, where, what, how? I'm praying like, Lord, you gave me this girl. She got this hair. It don't listen. It don't cooperate. What we gonna do about this? I need help. And so I started, I was on YouTube one day and I ran across the video of this young lady, and her hair was beautiful. And I'm like, what does she got going on here, right? And so I landed on the natural hair community. And so in that moment, I just began to watch videos and get as much information as I could. And I realized in that moment that, okay, I know hair, but I don't know this hair. And so why don't I know this, right? It's a question I'm asking myself. So I just kind of binge watched. And then from there, I began to see women using natural stuff. And I had always wanted to have my own hair care line, but then I stopped doing hair. So I was like, well, I don't know what to do next. So I began to, like I said, watch the videos, get information, and then just kind of teach myself about the different ingredients that was in product. research it, find out what they were doing, what was good, what wasn't good, and listening to what I was watching on the videos or whatever. And then I decided in that moment, okay, well, we're going to do this. And so I took a chance on my daughter. I started with her, and I started, working with her hair. And then I said, you know what, I'm going to do the same thing, right? And so I said, well, for me and my daughter, I don't want her to grow up feeling like she needs to supplement her hair with weaves or wigs or anything, because I want her to love her hair. And like I said, when I was watching those videos, I began to really fall in love with the natural hair, being styled in its natural state. And I began to see women transforming all of a sudden. I'm like, wait, this lady went from, looking, normal to absolute goddess almost, because she's in her natural state. And I love that. So that's how I got into it.
So your hair is natural?
My hair is 100% natural.
Okay. Kalina?
Well, actually, I started with this body butter. It didn't start off as body butter. I first started off researching like different oil products and stuff for my daughter, my baby, because her hair is like mine when I was a baby, is slow growing, and I just needed to moisturize, and didn't want to put like grease or just Vaseline or whatever. And not only that, she's also my only child that I had that had eczema when she was a baby. So I was just researching different like oils and stuff like that, like natural stuff to put on her body, put on her skin, and also in her hair. And doing that research, I came across like body butters and different types of scrubs and different kinds of stuff. And I was like, you know what? That would be good for her skin. Mm-hmm. And I started making it, and I started making it for everybody in the house. The kids loved it. My husband loved it. I loved it on her. It didn't break her out. It didn't do it. And I started giving it away. I remember I had a birthday party of my own, and I was giving it away like it was their birthdays. And everybody was like, why are you giving this away? Why are you giving this away? This is good stuff. And I'm like, is it? And I was like, I started off, I was trying to make like some hair oil or hair conditioner or something for the baby, and it just kind of turned into this, and it's here. And everybody was just giving me like all this feedback, and I was still giving it away. And I'm like, give me feedback, good, bad, ugly. Let me know what you think of it. And I wasn't getting anything negative from it. I didn't feel anything negative from it. And again, it was great on everybody's skin, because even myself, I suffer from eczema on my hands and feet. When it wasn't doing nothing to me, I knew, I'm like, this is it. And it was making everything better. It was making me better. It was making the kids better. My kids dry skin. My son has dry skin on his back. Everything was great. And so it just kind of came to be.
I noticed an interesting theme around this table. Not only did you guys, but myself, I started a couple businesses during the pandemic. What was the biggest obstacle you faced starting?
The biggest obstacle was the salon being forced to be shut down. It's one thing when you just don't want to go to work, or, you want to take time off, but to be told that you cannot go into work, it changed my life. And then on top of that, I've got 2 kids. My son was in 1st grade. My daughter was in 6th grade, and we were homeschooling on top of that. So it just changed everything. Our day-to-day, everything changed. Everything stopped, And I had too much time on my hands, and it was time to kind of change the position I was in. And not only just my money was stopped, I started paying attention to what was going around me as things started to slowly move. I started to see that a lot of people were having time to actually go and get licensed. So now you're getting all these new nail techs, and hey, my clients are my clients still, but that's not the main focus of bringing in new clients anymore. Now my main focus is the nail tech. And I actually had a chance to start visiting California. And that is when I found out about gel extensions. And it's crazy because I kept seeing these flawless nails that I just didn't understand. Why is my acrylic still not that flawless? And after a lot of research and finding out that a lot of the salons were only offering gel extensions and what this actually was, I definitely wanted to be a part of the wave before it took off. So it's coming this way because of us.
That's awesome.
I like that.
Alpha?
What was the question?
The biggest obstacle.
The biggest obstacle. You know what? To honest to God, for me, the pandemic was more of a blessing for me because I didn't have the funds prior to do what I wanted to do. Like the Lord he had given me like that summer prior. He told me one morning, he said, "You're going to build an empire. And you're going to name it Alpha and Omega Naturals. And no, it's not about you and your daughter. It's about me. Okay." And I'm like, "Oh, okay, I got it." And he told me everything that he wanted me to do with and how he wanted me to start from the crown of your head to the soles of your feet, which was my slogan at one time, but it's no longer because I couldn't trademark it. But so he began to explain it to me, and I'm like, okay, that's great and everything. And then one next day, a few days later or so, I ran across a lady on YouTube, and I was able to get formulas from them, right? And so I got all this information. I was so excited, but I didn't have no funds. I didn't have no money. I'm like, Lord, how are we going to do this? And so later on in the winter, my brother came to stay with me in December. And he's offered to pay to stay. And I said, well, okay. And so with that money there, that little bit of money, I began to just start investing into the company and building certain things, like buying some herbs just to play with, right? Mm-hmm. And I said, well, Lord, what are we going to do? Because I don't really have a product at the present moment. He said, you're going to do your tea. And I said, yeah, I do make them teas all the time for my hair. I've always made my own herbal teas. And every time I wash my hair, I would put it in my hair. And my hair was growing. And so... But I had before I had researched a lot of ingredients prior to, so I knew the stuff that I wanted to use when I did start to make stuff. I knew what I wanted to put in my product. So when it came time for it, I did that with the money that I was getting from my brother. And then the pandemic came, and I was doing some hair, you know what I'm saying, here, there, and again. So I was able to get the unemployment money. And because I was starting my company at the same time when everything shut down, because I had just made a batch of samples to give away, but I couldn't give them away because y'all talking about we can't go outside. So now I had all this product in my house that I can't do nothing with, and so I was able to use that as for unemployment, and I got that money. And that money, I took all that money and invested that money into the brand, creating the brand. And
so the pandemic was actually a blessing.
It was a blessing for me,
and not a hindrance.
It wasn't a hindrance. And I was already homeschooling my kids. We've been homeschooling since 2011, so that didn't help. That didn't do nothing to me. We were used to it already. So everything that everybody was struggling with, we was already accustomed to for the most part.
Awesome.
I'll say just financially, because I did have to. I'm new to this. I'm not true to this. So I started from scratch. I've never really got into the beauty world before. I've made played around with doing nails, or maybe put some colors and perm somebody in some hair, something like that. But just literally starting from scratch and having to build clientele during a pandemic. And I did work during the pandemic because I worked from home, customer service. So I didn't lose a lot of hours, but just some. So I still had to use the money that I was making on my regular job to fund my business. So just buying all of the materials and then trying to tell people, just come let me practice on you. Come, I'll do it for free. It's gonna take you a couple of hours because I'm learning, I think just trying to get people to come just so that way I could build that skill.
Yeah. And
then once I finally got that skill built, and they were just like, oh, okay, this looks good. You're doing better than what you think you're doing. And it was just like, okay, I got something here. And I think just the best feeling was when they get up and be like, you new to this, but this is good. And I feel good. And I look good.
Kalina?
The pandemic, it wasn't an obstacle for me. It was a blessing for me as well because it gave me time. I mean, I'm a full-time mom, full-time employee. I've been at my job for 20 years. So it gave me time to really get into my product, really research stuff, really just learn. And it was all right for me. It was okay. I didn't lose any much financially. I mean, no, I didn't gain as much as I make at work, but I wasn't going nowhere. I wasn't spending no money, so it was kind of the same almost, I guess, when it balanced out. And it was okay for me.
Yes, I own a hair care line. It's called Laylu. It's a combine between Layla and Lucia. That's my mom and my aunt. That's where I got the name from. I started my. Am I talking about when I started?
Yeah.
Oh, I started my hair care line probably about a year and a half ago.
During the pandemic?
I did start during the pandemic.
Okay.
I started during the pandemic because I did a big chop, and then I was really focused on hair care versus just like having pretty hair, if that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? Like I wanted to focus on the enrichment of it, the healthiness of it, everything like that. So I actually started experimenting on myself. And then I was experimenting on myself, and then my son, and then my little sister, because I ended up doing a big chop on Gabby too. So it was crazy. But I did launch during the pandemic. I'm a nurse, and I did travel nursing. So the pandemic hit me a little different. It hit me mentally, actually. I didn't lose anybody personally during the pandemic, but being a nurse, I was going to work, and I was somebody died on me every single day that I went to work. Every day. And I worked through the pandemic. Like when everybody was getting them good unemployment checks, like I was at work working for mine, you know what I'm saying? So the pandemic hit me mentally. It didn't take anybody from me personally, but after working like months on end, there was a point in time where I was like the only nurse in the building at one point. I didn't have any aides in the building. I was taking care of 60 people by myself. And so then it was like, I had to take a step back from it after that, you know, and then I focused on like my family, and then that's when I was really, and then I had like made a lot of money though.
A lot of money from your product?
No. A lot of money from working.
Yeah, nurses.
And so then once I had made a lot of money from working, I was able to really jump head first, and was like, cause then it was like, I want to do this for the rest of my life. Like I love nursing, but then it was like, I want to do this. Like I had been wanting to do the hair care line for so long, but then you get that everybody got a hair care business. Everybody is doing this. Everybody making shampoo. Everybody is making conditioner. And then one day I went in my cabinet and I was like, yeah, everybody is. And I got a different product for this. And I wash my hair with this some days. And when I want it fluffy, I use this. So it was like, yeah, everybody's doing it, but everybody is not me. And what I'm bringing and the customers that I have are for me. And I can branch out and do what I need to do. But this line was made by us, and it was for us. That was my whole goal. And yeah, I made some good money.
Yeah.
I lost some money too though.
Okay. So tell us about that, because we want to talk about some of the downfalls.
Yeah, so right now I've actually pulled my line, and I'm currently in the middle of relaunching and rebranding. So like my good cousin over here, she has a hair care line as well. And I reached out. And so there were things such as like sealing my products that I wanted to do. Like there were times where I shipped products out to other states, and then products spilled over. And it was like, okay, now not only did I lose money sending that product, but now I have to send more product out for free. And then I'm going to refund you for your shipping because now you're delayed on your product. And one of my biggest concerns was having really good customer service. And so there are times where I've literally like, I struggled with shipping. That was one of my biggest issues, shipping. I've had it where products have come back and sat at the post office, or I've had people like, oh, I didn't get it. And was
that because of the pandemic?
I do think it was because the post office was swamped. You know what I'm saying? It was swamped. So I don't know necessarily if it was because, I don't know what it was, you know, but I know I lost out on money because now I was like, okay, well, I got to replace it. And then I'm also now going to send you a sample of this, you know, to let you know that I appreciate your business. I'm sorry for the inconvenience. And just being this was my very first time doing anything. So then I just wanted to, I created a new label because I didn't want like a caricature. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to be more clean. Then I wanted a new bottle because the way some of the product was coming out of the current bottles that I had, I was like, I wasn't liking that. So this was a very big learning experience for me. So I'm still, Like, but I still have people reaching out to me. Riri, when are you gonna do this? I need it. So I'm like, oh, I know my product is good. Right. I know it's good, and but I want to have the presentation, the shipping, like the boxes, the labels, the packaging, all that. I want it all together. So I love my website though. My website, A1. I didn't have any issue with that. So, but I still pulled it because I didn't want to have good product, but then people not want to buy it because I didn't have quote unquote good customer service or good shipping, or like, oh, it's good product, but I don't like the bottles. Or so it was just a lot for me to figure out.
So when will you do the relaunch?
So I launched last year on my birthday, which is June 10th. And so I really was shooting to relaunch again on my birthday this year. So that's my goal.
Awesome. Has anyone else experienced issues like she has, where she talked about some things she had to learn along the way? Kalina?
There's some things. I guess I've had a couple little hiccups. I'm still learning.
Of course.
The shipping thing wasn't really a big deal for me, but I didn't start shipping until about the fall. So I haven't started shipping in those summer months yet. And that's my biggest fear when it gets hot. You know what happens. Like, I know what happens, and I know what it does. Okay, so I'm about, like you said, presentation. Like, when you open my jar, I wanted to look fluffy. I wanted to look the way it's supposed to look. I don't want it to go through shipping or
and it melt.
And then it, it hard back up, but it don't look like
the little swerve.
Yeah, the way it was supposed to originally look. I mean, it's gonna work the way it's supposed to work, but I wanted to look the way it's supposed to look. So I'm working on that, and then like, I know I sell a lot at my job. Like, the girl, they love it, and I have to tell them, like, listen, you guys, I gotta give you like a drop off date. Like, I can leave it here on this date and that day, because I can't leave the stuff in my car. Like, you know what I'm saying? When it start getting warm, I can't leave the stuff in my car, like, because y'all want me to have it on me right here, right now. It's not gonna be able to work like that, like, And again, I don't have my website up yet. It's something I'm still working on. So, I mean, I feel like I'm doing okay for the way that I'm doing it, but yeah, I don't.
Quick question: why don't you have your website up?
Time.
that makes no sense.
I know it don't.
When you have cousins like Shay who does websites, like myself who availed themselves, like this cousin right here just raved about her website.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
But she did give me some information too.
Okay.
About that.
Did you experience any of
I called you and asked you to help when I was having headaches about my website.
I know, sometimes you don't want to burn
Hold on. Don't jump on me.
They're doing their stuff.
I had to put my big girl pants on and figure it out. So thank you. Because like you said, it made me like.
I thought I could.
Oh, sorry.
No, you're right.
It definitely made me. My website isn't exactly where I would want it to be, but as far as making sure pretty much the look of what I wanted is there. And you said, well, I can walk you through it, but I can't just do it for you unless you want me to do it for you. And I don't know. I think you should just try it on your own. And so I eventually did that. And it was a headache, some crying days. I am not a techie person at all. And so, yeah, like, I've been doing nails all my life. Like, all my life I had to fight. All my life I've been doing nails, and that's it. And so to get thrown into this techie world was a headache.
I got a new bully over here. but no, my thing is I prefer to empower. Because one thing I know is when you have a webmaster, you're yielding to their beck and call. They have to
control it.
They have to have time.
That
you
makes
have to have
sense
money.
now.
So I'm sorry I did not articulate that, but thanks for putting it out there like this for me. But yeah, that's my thing. Like when you called, I think it was you about the videos. I'll come, I'll do it, but I prefer to show you because especially on my end, like video, you gonna pay. There's going to be guys that's going to be cheaper, but these things are a lot of these things are something we could do for ourselves and we can minimize costs until we get to that point where that money and that budget is there. and I apologize if you
It's
took
all
it that
good.
way.
No. It made me have to man up.
I agree with you on that. I had the same conversation with my husband about that because everything about my product, I'm hands on. I did my own logos. I did my own labels.
Right.
I did everything. I make this stuff by hand. I don't have no machine. I make this. I want to be hands on with everything.
Exactly.
I do my shipping. I do everything. I want to have a hand in my website as well. And I did have that conversation with him. And he mentioned Shay about the but I was like, but Shay is all the way there. I want somebody here because I want to be able to sit down with them and show me what you're doing so that if I got to add some stuff, I got to do some stuff, I got to tweak some stuff, I want to be able to do it. I don't want to keep having to come to this person because they built my website and only they know how to do it.
Well,
I like to learn.
Because
I'm always willing to learn.
And I'm not advocating for Shay. However, there's a thing called Zoom. There's a thing called where other people who I've helped and assist, they've literally been on the Zoom call with me, and I'm like, do this, do that, or as I'm doing it. So I'm just saying, excuses.
I feel you.
It's not gonna fly over
And
here
I
with me.
need some good pictures for my stuff because the ones I be taking, they ain't right.
Oh, really? Okay, never mind. Did you have any obstacles?
Building my website, I'm like Casey. I built my own web. I did it myself.
Bravo.
I went to Shopify, and it is a lot of work,
Yes,
baby.
it
Let me tell you, tech. I'm not techie at all. I live in a household with a tech. My husband is tech. My son is tech. I call on him, my son, all the time. But that website thing is a lot. And then my biggest issue, though, I got it up. I like Kalina. I did all of my own graphic, my logo. I created my own logo. I created my own product. I researched all the containers and everything. The pictures, I did all of that myself. Took my own photos for the website myself. And but the issue that I did have with creating the website was fooling around with that darn Google, because Shopify is very, very techy. It's if you're not a tech person, you'll get in there and your head be spinning in circles.
Yeah.
Literally. And it's a lot, but I got it done, and I'm so proud of myself because like she said, I didn't want to have to go find the person I need I need to put some new pictures up. I wanted to know the ins and the outs so that way I can do it on my own time, spend as much time as I need to. I know my website inside and out. I know how to monitor what's going on, what's wrong. I can pinpoint where it's at. Go fix it. Call help if I need to. You know what I'm saying? Because Shopify does offer a lot of help. So you can go and I just learned that I can call them. I just figured that out. So now I be bugging them. Right? Like, look. And I got a few favors that I email. Like, hey, you, we talked about this. I need you to help me. You know what I'm saying? But they have that. So, which is why I did choose Shopify, because they offer a lot of help. They had a lot of videos and everything. So that helped me to be able to do it myself.
That's
and
great.
So that was my only issue. Like I said, as far as making sure Google was seeing my product. And we're still fighting with that. But on the other hand of that, I did team up with Ads Near Me. So I got a lot going on. I got people watching my website with me monthly, doing check-ins and seeing how we're conversions and everything. I still don't know what all that stuff mean. She be talking to me and I be like, yes, girl, what you just said. I don't know what you said, but okay. And it's monthly. I still don't get it because it's a lot. You know what I'm saying? But it's a lot.
Lenora, did you experience anything?
Because I don't have a website because, like I said, what I provide is more of a service. So I did try a few of the booking sites, and for me, I felt like with the couple that I've tried, I actually had more bookings doing it through social media and reaching out to people and just posting my work than the booking sites. Nobody bothered to look at it, so I was paying for it, and I was just like, okay, let me leave this alone because this is where all my money is coming through, just social media.
So I'm just gonna put my big cousin pants on. It's another tool, and a lot of times sometimes people just Google search, and that social media may not come up. But just like she has connection. We got cousin Shay. You have myself.
Yeah, because Shay did he did my logo and my label. I kind of gave him an idea of what I had in mind. I've been searching for, something that, kind of, I wanted to look like my name. I wanted to wink, and a lot of the ones that had like eyeshadow and color and stuff, they was like gold or blue. I said, I cannot find anything. So I told him, I said, this is the image that I have that I want, and he created it. And like I said, I was trying with those booking sites, but I'm probably going to go that route next as far as the website.
Mm-hmm.
But booking sites, it wasn't hitting at all.
Yeah. And you know, I took issue with a booking site. However, I have a partner who does with one of my companies who does the exact same thing, and he used the booking, and it is, and we're always together. And I'm like, man, I need to do that. So sometimes it depends on how it's done, because I did it, but I didn't do it successfully. But I watched my friend who gets tens of thousands of visitors, and we're always out, and it's like, hello, yeah, and he constantly tells them, go to my site and book. And where here it is, I'm always taking the calls and everything else. I'm glad we talked about the pitfalls and the adversities. But let's talk about the good stuff. Let's talk about the meat and potatoes. So Ashanti.
Just so you know, I'm older than her. Okay.
It's all good.
Girl.
Thanks.
All right, so I watch you online. I see you always out there in California. You have some celebrity clients or something like that?
Yes.
Tell me about that.
I have a PR, and she gets me connected with people that we want the brand on. And so we've had a chance to do a couple of the reality stars. And actually most of them are reality stars. But yeah, Masika Kalisha, she's a client. Monice is a client. Hannah Geraldo from Branches Rules. You probably maybe don't know who she is. Her mom sings "Hit You with the Best Shot." Okay, that song. Her daughter, yep, is Pat Benatar's daughter.
Look at
yeah.
big sis.
But yeah, I've definitely been able to kind of have fun while working and get to see, you know, the different side of life. So it's definitely planted more seeds into me, because I believe the people that you have around you, it matters, you know. So my circle right now is pretty strong, and I like it.
And see, that's one of the goals and objective, because our family is so huge, like so huge. And even though everybody here may not be blood, but we're all relatives, you know, because that's my cousin and you're my cousin, and vice versa. And and I've been preaching this for some time now, that if we promoted each other, I mean, like, listen, I paid tens of thousands well, not thousands yet, but a lot of money in advertising and things of that nature. However, I can't name how many times somebody reposted my stuff and I got business. So, and I can't expect other people to do something that I'm not willing to do.
Yeah.
And
That's necessary.
And I really truly feel like this sit down right here, there are some ancestors right now that's like smiling, like, look at them.
I agree.
Look at
I
them.
definitely agree.
So if everybody isn't following everybody, Alpha, let's go to you.
So my Facebook is AO Naturals. I also have ANO Alpha and Omega Naturals on Facebook. My Instagram is Alpha and Omega Naturals, all spelled out. And I also have Officially Alpha. My website is alphaandomeganaturals.com.
Formerly Beauty LLC.
Spell it.
Yes.
POURMALINE Beauty LLC. It's all one word. Instagram and Facebook.
My Instagram and my Facebook are both linked by Pink, but I also do take client inquiries by my personal Facebook page, which is just Lenora Highgate.
Damani Nell Official. And the Instagram is Damani _, so it's DAMANI _Nail NAIL Official OFFICIAL.
My Instagram is Laylu. That's LAYLUU. Hair care. That's on Instagram.
Thank you guys so much for coming out. I really appreciate what you guys are doing. I'm proud of you guys. And I've offered my help and you rejected me because you know, y'all I just wasn't good enough.
All the help I can give.
Yeah, okay.
I know that's right,
We're
right?
gonna talk about it.
Yeah. Thank you guys for watching the 4th episode of Family Business Micro Calibration.